So you might not be able to tell it by looking at me, but I am 100% addicted. I have an addiction, and it's to a thing that many people have an addiction to, whether they admit it or not. It's my cellular device, the phone with a brain, the smartphone. And I'm here to deal with it. I'm dealing with this today and now, and I came up with a plan to do so. But first, let me tell you about how this manifests exactly. I wrote a bit, so I kind of want to read it. I usually don't script videos, but this was simple enough, and I think it's worth kind of getting the points across. So my issue with my smartphone is how debilitating it is. And that word is kind of instrumental here because I feel like I have a lot of things that I'd like to do and I want to do and that I don't want to do, but I have to do. And the phone is an easy escape. And so it does make me less productive in a sense, but it's also like bad for my mental health because I think that it takes away from my initiative in trying to be social and trying to like reach out and talk and go out with people. I already have a hard time with it and I have a hard time getting people to come out, but it doesn't mean I shouldn't try. And I think I just go into this kind of corner of isolation with my phone because it's there to reassure me. It's just always on me, and I just end up going to a couple of apps that give me that temporary gratification, but it's no comparison to the real thing. It's not really being social, it's being media social, and I see those two things as separate. You know, I said this in a video before, but I think there's social media and there's social reality. And social media is not social reality. So when it comes to my addictions, it's specifically to those social media apps that involve a creative social aspect. It's not your typical ones that most people have problems with. I don't use Instagram. I don't use Facebook. I've had these things, but I don't use them. So I don't really care about updates on those things. But I do care about my YouTube, and to some extent, Discord and communicating there. Twitch a little bit. That's not really an issue for me. But my problem that I face as a creator on YouTube is just caring about like performance. So like seeing if recent video uploads are performing even without the YouTube Studio app. I just go on my videos and I keep refreshing the page. I keep looking to see if I got new comments. You know, the like dislike thing I don't really care as much about, but I do want to see if people are socializing and engaging with my content. And I feel like that's really destructive. It's really destructive that I'm sitting there looking for messages that don't exist or might exist, like with it being a possibility. It just feels like online dating or something. It's really bad. I am constantly refreshing to see if videos are performing, if I receive comments or direct messages. Yeah. Some of this is an issue with my personality. I'm going to concede that. You know, I have a bit of an addictive personality to, you know, just common things, even like coffee. I'm really addicted to coffee. I'm addicted to social media. So, you know, my personality manifests in many ways. And I've dealt with that personality in several ways. Like I primarily drink non-alcoholic beer because I find that alcohol can be addictive. So that's my way of offsetting that. I don't think I have a solution to that for things like the phone. For coffee, decaf doesn't really do it for me, but I don't really see coffee as much of an issue. And I kind of pace that out anyway, like half black tea, half coffee. So it's not as much an issue as the phone. The phone is always on you. I don't think people understand, or they do understand, but they don't want to admit how problematic it can be. I don't think anybody's equipped to deal with this thing unless you're very intentional. And, you know, I'd love to just switch down to a dumb phone, get a flip phone again. I did use a flip phone for a very long time, but I'm not in a good position to like buy one and do that. So I'm not going to do that at this time. So I need a solution for now for the smartphone. And then I'm not going to fully blame myself. I kind of blame the technology for just being the way it is. I don't know. It's very hard to explain, but I think it's still worth trying to explain. Never in all of human life have we had the power we have now in our pockets. Like, this is such a recent development in the past 10 years. And what I think most people are so addicted to the vices that they don't want to acknowledge it, and they want to hold on to them. They want to keep them. I do too. I would love to be able to use these things responsibly, but I just don't. And so I'm trying to be proactive here. I know this is not the most unique idea in the world. I've seen people who deal with their cell phone addictions in different ways, whether they call it that or don't. And so here's my plan. It's a 30-day action plan starting today, May 4th, and I'm calling it the Phone Usage Reduction Plan. Could use a better name, but whatever. So it's 3 steps, real simple. Number 1 is delete apps and reinstall them only for uploading purposes. That includes YouTube. So I'm going to post this video on YouTube, and then I'm going to delete YouTube. And I'm only going to check it from the computer if I really care that much to see comments and performance and respond to things. And, you know, YouTube, I keep it because, and there's another way of doing this that's a little more complicated. Like, I could make an account that's not my creator account for watching and listening to YouTube videos, but I can't even afford YouTube Premium right now. So it's obnoxious to actually listen to YouTube in the car from the phone, or even just in my pocket in the headphones, having to go back and click skip ad. So I'm just going to delete YouTube, and I'm going to listen to the radio, or even YouTube Music I can kind of deal with. But I think it's okay to delete it, reinstall it if I have a video on my phone that I'm ready to just upload like this one, and then delete it again. Because I'm not even paying for it, and I watch it on the TV anyway, and that's easy enough for skipping ads. I watch it on my computer. Whether I feel like I need to delete it from the TV is a different question. Maybe. I've thought about that. But I'm not thinking too deeply about it, because the number 1 problem is in my pocket. Not right now, but usually. Step 2 is to adopt a different mindset, and I would call this a functional philosophy as opposed to a wasteful philosophy. You know, I think we look at phone usage as kind of a way to just waste our time and just kind of get that temporary dopamine relief. And I'm looking at it more from a functional philosophy of what do I need to use my phone for? And in the future, reducing a couple of those things through different like technological means. So calling and texting friends and family, I think, is vital and will help me to be more socially healthy. And I think that's something that most people are not doing nowadays. They kind of just wait to be called or messaged, but I think you have to be more proactive in a sense. So I'm going to be more functional in how I socialize with my phone. So there's that. It's not to say I never call people or text people. I do, but I just think that I've hindered how much I do it with social media as an escape. I'm going to use my phone for work and social purposes, so that's part of the functional philosophy. So, you know, Gmail and stuff. One problem I do have is I do refresh Gmail consistently. I think I'm going to stop doing that after 10 days. I know I'm not the only one who does this. It's just the way the phone is. It's just, let me check if I got new messages. I think we're addicted to seeing if we got messaged. We care too much about ourselves. Maybe I'm speaking for myself here, but I think I'm not the only one. And of course, GPS. I do use GPS at times. And of course, if I'm going to like call a store and be like, hey, do you have this pair of shoes? You know, so that's the thing I could do. And then of course, I'm going to log this process. This is step 3 for 30 days. It doesn't mean I'm going to journal every day, but I'm going to journal and I'm going to see how it went. And I'll come back in 30 days and report on this, or I won't. You know, maybe I'll just be lost in the woods somewhere as I am now. So that's my phone reduction plan and how I'm going to execute it and how I'm going to break phone addiction. What's yours? Are you dealing with it? Do you care about your addiction to your phone? I know it matters more to me than it does to some people. I understand that. I just know that for myself, like, it's particularly destructive, so it's something that needs to be dealt with. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon when I'm on my computer, not on my phone. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.